Jonathan out of here.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Jonathan Horowitz, Director of Business Development. I'm here to make the announcement of the approved ranking list for the George Edwards Fund. And I'll proceed with that announcement now unless anybody has any further questions. Okay. We are going to be selecting Cascade Properties Fort Ritchie. We'll be funding them, a request for the George Board to fund them for $500,000. Meredith School of Osteopathic Medicine, which we refer to as MSOM, we are funding $937,173. Optimized Water Solutions, we will be funding $200,000. HCC's Workforce Training Center on Northern Avenue, $250,000 award request to the board. We will be funding the request from PIA in the amount of $300,000. Lanco Penland's request will be funded at an amount of $500,000, and Brook Lane request funded at $500,000. These will be the requests going to the George Edwards Fund next Monday.
Now, to clarify, some of these people might have requested more, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
These were through about 164 staff hours and discussions. That's where we've arrived at these decisions and these numbers.
Jonathan, can you confirm who from Washington County serves on the George Edwards Board? Who has the final?
Representatives on the George Edwards Board would be myself, Jonathan Horowitz, Director of Business Development, Jeff Klein, Vice President of the Board of County Commissioners, and Paul Fry, CEO and President of the Washington County Hagerstown Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.
So what you presented is the proposed list, so the board wants to adopt that list as its formal recommendation.
Motion to adopt that list.
Second.
Okay. Motion second, all in favor by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Kendall?
Kendall's got something, and do you have something too?
Yeah, it doesn't, either one of those does.
Kendall, you want to go first?
Yeah, we're going backwards in order. This is staff comments that were.
Yeah, we're back to staff comments. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm requesting approval to hire for the position of Civil Engineer in the Division of Engineering, candidate Gail Abbott, at a grade 15, step 6, salary $76,128.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, okay.
And last but not least, the Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council requests that you reach a consensus to appoint Cherie Ware to serve a first 3-year term from February 1, 2023 through January 31st of 2026. This is not a paid board.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Is that it? One last thing we kind of overlooked this morning. The week look ahead is March 11th, Black Economic Empowerment Summit at the Kepler Theater. Also on March 11th is the Leitersburg Fire Company Banquet, Knights of Columbus. And on the 14th is grand opening of the Audrey Rouser Portraits right up the street here at 170 West Washington Street.
Are you gonna, yes or no, or? Are you gonna do that some other way?
No. As we all heard this morning, the city's, and the city administrator and I have talked several times about setting up a joint meeting sooner than later, I guess. And I'd just like to have everyone's thoughts, consensus to move forward that here in the next couple of weeks, we get something set up with a joint meeting with the city.
So what do you want me to? So, you know, I've had discussion with the city administrator too, and I think I mentioned this to this board. I think what you're talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when staff started having discussions about the water issue, and we heard it again this morning, county staff and city staff have been working collectively to develop an informational workshop type discussion to present to the county commissioners and to the city council to give you, obviously, just some discussion about water and the water issue, how it affects the city and the county. So Scott and I at least agreed to have our staffs get together and do that. They've now done that, and they are prepared to do that if the city council and the Board of County Commissioners would like to do that. So I think that's what you're talking about. So it wouldn't just be, it'd be a joint meeting, but it would be a joint meeting in a workshop type setting to talk about, to have our staffs talk to us about water and begin that discussion, but I think that's what you were talking about. So,
I've had 2 occasions to meet with Scott and myself, and I've had several occasions to meet with and chat with the new mayor in the last 30 days since she's been sworn in. And I think the lines of communication are coming together nicely, much better than they have in the past. And I would hope that we could collaboratively work together as we move forward here, through our terms. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so with that said, I guess I would like to have our administrator and the city administrator to
yeah, so.
coordinate that.
Yeah, so coordinate that. We talked about, we initially talked about doing it at a neutral location, so everybody felt comfortable talking about it. The city has suggested that we hold it at the.
Airport in or?
Yeah. Right, that's right. I think the city suggested to have it at the R.W. Wilson.
Water
So-
plant.
Right. Apparently they have a conference room there. I've never been there, and they said we could go on a tour and we could look around, so, that's what they've suggested. I mean,
That's not really neutral. Let's have it here.
It's not-
More comfortable.
right, it's not neutral, but, it's not their city council, it's not their council chambers either, so, I mean, the reason it was suggested, obviously, is so we could look around the water plant if.
It's a fascinating place to walk through.
So, I mean, they've offered that, to do that. Scott has offered that to me, so.
See, I'm fine with the water plant.
So we can do it there, and the only question will be, and it may just affect,
I was getting ready to
several
say-
commissioners, trying to find a Tuesday to do it may be more difficult than, so we can try that, but it may have to be on another day. And I know that may affect you, so we'll try to do that, and we'll try to get with you to see if, I know that, your other job.
You're looking at me, I'll make it work.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at you only because I know your schedule's a lot tighter when it comes
I have a
to
day
your other
job,
job.
so-
Right. And so we thought, and I talked to John about that, so
Yeah,
that's why I initially suggested a
did talk
Tuesday,
about
but
that.
with our schedule and the budget schedule for us and the city, we wanna make sure we dedicate enough time to this, so it might not work on a Tuesday. It
Just
might-
don't make it the first day of the month or the last day of the month.
Okay.
You could do it in the evening, couldn't you?
We could do an evening, but so we'll look at that too. I'll get with Scott, we'll find some dates, we'll communicate with you. And our staff, again, our staff and city staff have been working collectively to do that. So the initial will be a collaborative presentation by city and county staff on water. And then obviously we'll try to answer any questions you have, but it's just, no action, nobody's looking to take any action, just to get the discussion started. And when Scott and I met, we thought it would be a good way to start having the city and county staff collaboratively do that. So I'll get with them and we'll come up with some dates and we'll let you know, make sure it's okay with all of you. We just wanted to make sure that,
The other thing I want to add to that is I've been very encouraged in the last 2 months. City staff has reached out to me offering their thoughts, their willingness to collaborate, to meet and move forward collectively in a positive manner. It wasn't just coming from one individual. It's kind of across the board. So I think there's a new day, a new era of excitement and opportunity to work together.
okay, so I'll let you know that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion was seconded.
We are adjourned.